All right, we are back again. This is Denean, obviously.
This is Katrina.
And
Mariline.
Marilyne's still with us. We had some technical difficulties, so we restarted. And yeah, Mariline was trying to tell us a story before we cut off the first time. So do you want to finish your story where we left off?
Yeah, so where we left off, essentially, I was just saying, well, I was also went a bit off the story to just talk about how much I hate when someone asks me out, but then they expect me to make the plans, like, oh, do you want to go out on Thursday? And I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, stay home now, because clearly you don't really have any plans or any originality, like, let me just stay home. Is that something that bothers you guys too, or?
If you ask me to go out and then you're waiting for me to tell us where to go, it doesn't really bother me because you're willing to go where I want to go, so I don't mind that. How about you, Denean?
Personally, it doesn't bother me. A lot of people will definitely want someone, like, okay, if a guy asks you out, you expect him to lead, right? And be like, you know what, we're going here and da-da-da-da, but I think it's common courtesy to even ask what you want to do, because if someone asks you out, right, and you go with them, what if you despise where they're bringing you? You're gonna have a horrible time.
Right.
Why not just come together and say, hey.
Okay, I guess one thing also is I'm new to Toronto, and my bio in my profile says new to Toronto, need someone to show me around. Like, I don't know where I want to go.
Where's this bio in Tinder?
Yeah, what bio?
Yeah, like Tinder, Hinge, any of them. All of them I say that I'm new to Toronto.
Okay.
So I don't know where I want to go. You know. But
So maybe it's different because we are from Toronto and we know where we're going. But still, even if I was going somewhere different or I've never been before, if I see something on the way, let's say to the hotel or something, and be like, ooh, can we try this place? And then we go and experience.
I don't know. To me, just maybe I don't know. It just
you just want someone
me.
to just control, like
to take control. Like, oh, what do you want to do? I don't know. Like.
But not but all the time?
Not all the time. If it's the first time and you're asking me out, let's meet up on Thursday. Okay, sure. Let me know what you want to do.
How about when you like travel somewhere? If you go out with your girlfriends and you travel somewhere you haven't been, do you wait for other people to plan it out, or do you do your own research before?
I would do my research beforehand.
And let them know this is where I want to go?
Yeah, this is what we should do. I just try to make plans and we try to come together and stuff like that, and decide.
I don't think dates should be that complicated. Right? It's just, you like me, I like you, or I want to get to know you, you want to get to know me. Let's get to know each other doing something fun over dinner.
Yep.
Walking through the park, sitting by the beach. Like, it doesn't have to be so complicated. I think we all make things so complicated. You get what I'm saying? And when you get into your head, you just overthink things, and it's like, oh, do I even like this person because they didn't think of where to go? Or do I even like them because, you know what I mean? We should not make things so complicated. Just try to get to know somebody.
It was the first time they're meeting. She would want someone to be like, okay, let's go to the movies.
Not movies?
Saying,
you mean like just as example?
Like, he comes up with the plan. She doesn't want to be the person to be like, okay, let's go here. She wants the guy to make the first move. That's what it is.
It's like if you're asking me out, you'd be like, oh, you want to go out somewhere? Yeah. Okay, you figure it out and let me know. No. You asked me, so you figure out a plan and then we'll do it.
Okay, but I'm saying, for example, like, I've been asked out many times, right? And the thing is, if I'm going to be asked out, I don't think that all the stress has to be on one person anyway, because I feel like a lot of times people don't even know what you like. So they're going to do the general, let's go to the movies and let's go to get some food. But then what if I don't want to?
But then that's the situation. I've been in this situation before where someone is like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, you know what? I usually hate doing this, but I'll propose something. There's this taco place I want to go to. And we went, and it was really expensive, more expensive than expected. I was like, this is expensive. And he paid for everything, which was really appreciative. But he worked at like a coffee shop, and I never wanted to see him again. And now I feel bad that he spent this money.
Wait. So what's wrong with working at a coffee shop?
There's nothing wrong with working at a coffee shop, but like, he's spending all this money.
But that's good. That's a good thing. That the fact that he's working somewhere where you think he makes lower wage than you would want him to make, I guess. But then for him to spend his money on you,
Which is nice.
Right, but so why wouldn't you want to talk to him again?
Well, he just talked about like his ex-relationship for like 20 minutes, and that was just...
Well, she didn't want him because his income. She just felt bad that
it wasn't even his income. It was
just him.
It was just him.
Okay. Oh, okay. No, I thought. Sorry.
No, it wasn't his income. Like I thought about it after. I'm like, man, I feel bad. Like he spent this money on me, and I don't even want to see this person.
But what really turned you off was because he was talking about
his ex for like 30 minutes, and just different things. He was a nice guy. And I could see myself being friends, but I was just not interested in him. In that way.
Question for you guys, not to cut you off, but like if you go on a date and how do you tell a guy, right, that you're more interested in being friends after a date? Like how would you go about saying that, or do you just ghost them, or
I
just
ghost? I ghost.
Well, I let them know. I just want to be honest with you. I don't like you that way, and if it's up to you, we could be friends. I mean, some guys just want to be friends too, right? So if they can stop their emotion or stop the attraction and still be your friend, I think that's more important to me than, I'm not gonna talk to you because you don't want me.
But let's be real, some guys that you meet never just want to be your friend.
That's
right?
True.
It just happens after the fact. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I'm saying not in all situations, but sometimes, depending on the circumstance, the guy can potentially just become your friend. But usually they say
you're attractive first, and then
you know what I mean? A guy's not just gonna say, oh, this girl is mash up, but she has a great personality, I want to be her friend.
I ghost. I know it's bad, but I ghost because I don't like the confrontation. And
why does it have to be confrontation?
I don't know. I guess maybe so here's the rest of the story, because this is a whole story. Okay. So anyways, so that's why I prefer when they make the plans. Sorry, I just want to finish my thought. So they make the plans so they know what their budget is, they know like what they would rather do, and if I impose something on someone and they can't afford it, then I feel bad after the fact because I don't want to see them again, or I wasn't into it. But if they're planning it, they know exactly what their budget is, they work with what they have, and they show me what kind of person they are.
But that comes with it regardless. If you ask anybody out, they're not, just because you spend money on them doesn't mean they're going to switch and become like so deep in love. It's a chance. It's 50-50. You choose to spend that much money. You get what I'm saying? You could have done a nice pretty much inexpensive date. You get what I'm saying? So if he chose to spend that money and he spent a lot of money, that's his problem.
I mean, it is, but if he would have proposed coffee, I would have been fine with that too.
But then you suggested the taco place.
I suggested the taco place. Yeah.
Oh, you suggested it. Do you know?
So wait, so are you supposed to? Okay, let's say there's a place you want to go, and it's a first date. Would you look at the menu beforehand, and then suggest, or would you just suggest?
I just suggested it because sometimes I would, depending on the place, but my roommate had been there.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, let's go there. She said it was good. So I proposed it. And when I was there and I looked at the menu, I was like, what?
But do you guys
think your roommate's fault?
But do you think it's common courtesy, I guess, to check the menu before, or just go and then...
I check for my own selfish reasons. I'm like, would I like what's on this menu? If I don't, but I kind of just do watch the price too. I don't really like people spending too much money.
Yeah.
I just, maybe because I'm cheap. I don't know.
I'm cheap. I'm very cheap.
I'm cheap.
But yeah, the rest of the story. So
sorry.
Met this guy off of Tinder. Now I changed my age bracket to someone older because I was like, I'm tired of these young dudes. Maybe like an older guy is gonna know, how to act properly. I guess I was very wrong. So matched with this dude. He was alright looking, but I'm like one of those where just like I'm in a mood and I just like swipe right whenever I'm like, you're not too ugly, so let me swipe right. But anyways, we were talking a bit over the app, and then we switched to numbers because he's like, can I please have your number? I was like, all right, fine, whatever. Maybe he doesn't like apps because he's a bit older, and I don't often get notifications on Tinder. I have my notifications like not work on there, so I sometimes don't respond to people for days at a time. But anyways, we were texting, and he was like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm down for anything really. Like, I'm kind of new to the area. You tell me what's cool, what's fun. And he's like, okay, well, I'll let you know. And he was trying to make plans. It was a bit of a back and forth for a couple of days. And then finally, like on a Monday, he's like, how about on Thursday we meet up for a picnic at the park. So there's this big park in Toronto, Hyde Park,
yeah.
So he's like, let's meet up there and have a picnic outside. I was like, okay, cool, great. I've never been to Hyde Park. So I agreed. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, okay, well, I think he asked me something, and he asked me in kind of like a little bit of a rude way with like a bunch of question marks at the end of the question. I think I hadn't responded to him right away within the like a timely manner. It was because I was working, and it took maybe like 10-15 minutes before I looked at my messages again. And he was annoyed that I hadn't answered him, and I'm like, what's the attitude for? And he's like, oh, well, you know, like, I'm just trying to make plans here. I'm like, well, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not always on my phone. And also he asked me a couple times to come pick me up, and he's a new person. I didn't want him to know where I live. So I told him, no, it's okay, I can meet you there. He's like, in like kind of, I mean, it's hard to gauge attitude over text, but it felt like he had a bit of an attitude where he was like, well, Hyde Park is a huge park, like, how are we going to meet up beforehand? I'm like, we can just pick like a cross street where we meet, and it's not a big deal. Anyways, he was just giving a bit of attitude, and I was like, you know what? I'm not down to meet up with you anymore. I'm sorry, I'm going to cancel this date. I'm not interested.
Wait. So this is the same guy that you went on the taco date with?
No, this is a different guy.
Oh, it's a different guy?
Different guy.
Oh.
I'm sorry, was that not clear?
No, yeah, it's clear. Sorry.
No, it was just me. So he canceled because of work.
I canceled.
Oh, you canceled?
Yeah.
So you canceled on him because he was rude,
He was being rude, yeah.
Through text, though.
Through text, yeah.
But how do you know he was being rude? Because you can't really tell if someone's being rude through text.
I don't like when people try to make me feel bad for not answering them right away. And he's like an adult. He should know that, you know, we're busy. We all have lives. We all have things that we're doing. And his insistence on picking me up. He asked like 2-3 times to come pick me up, even after I told him, like, I'm good. I can take the subway there. I can find my own way there.
Okay, just to say something. I'm just trying to gather the information here.
Yeah.
So it was because he was rude over text, right? Your opinion. He was rude over text. So then he was rude because you were taking too long to respond?
I was taking too long to respond, and he was also trying to insist on picking me up when I'd already told him
so
no.
you're being very persistent. Okay.
Sorry. Bless you.
Bless you. So the thing is, what a lot of guys probably don't know is you could get very like when you get too persistent, or you're bothering someone, it gets to the point where like it's a turn off. Like you're not gonna want to go anymore. Like you could anticipate. I'm pretty sure every girl in here right now, you've anticipated you've been
okay, go get your drink, didn't you?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
You've anticipated you know, going somewhere. You're like, yeah, this guy asked me to go out or whatever the case is, and then as soon as that time's coming up, you're like, do I even want to go? Right? Thank you. Do I even want to go? Do I want to go, or whatever the case is? You kind of psych yourself out of it. But if a guy is there like, are you ready for this day? Are you coming? What time should I pick you up? It gets too like, you're just like, no.
You're
like,
too eager.
Yeah, way too eager.
And it's I mean, there's nothing wrong with like
there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to give me time to respond.
You have to give me time to respond. It was legit like maybe 10-15 minutes, and he was giving me attitude about not texting him back right away. Like, hello, question mark, I'm trying to plan something here.
Yeah, that's
desperate.
not cute. Yeah, that's
not
cute. It is his daughter probably ignores him a lot, so it's triggering to him.
So I was like, you know what?
What?
I was like, you know what? Let me cancel this.
You would be a great therapist.
Yeah, thanks.
The daughter you don't have is mad at you. Yeah, go ahead.
So I was like, let me cancel this because this is not bode well. Like, his attitude, I'm just like not into it anymore. So I told him, you know what? Never mind. Sorry, let's just cancel. I'm not into this anymore. And then I got all the confirmation I needed that this was the best decision I ever made. So he proceeds to text me like a bunch of times, like, what do you mean? Please don't cancel. Please, like begging.
How old is this guy? What was his age bracket?
He was 40 years old. Please don't cancel. And then he calls me twice within the span of 5 minutes and leaves me voicemails. I listen to them, and he's crying over the voicemail. Like, please give me another chance.
I shouldn't be laughing. I'm sorry.
He's like, please, like, I often don't get a chance like this. You're so beautiful. Like, please.
I'm sorry.
dating is so hard. I just want you to give me a chance.
Oh, that's
Please
sad.
talk to any of my friends. They'll tell you I'm so worth it. Please, I'm so sorry. Like I was.
You gave him. Okay, I'm sorry. You gave him this amount of time to say please me, please. I would have blocked him from.
Okay, now my question to you is. Question to you: do you have this voicemail?
Unfortunately,
please play it.
Unfortunately, I do not. I recently switched phones, but. I'm so mad I switched phones because anyways, let me go on. So he's like crying, begging, like, please give me another chance. And he's texting me, sending me all these texts. Then he sends me a few texts like, well, fine then, be that way. You're too stuck up to be in this fucking city anyways. They take that stick out your ass. My friends think you're a piece of shit. He's just going on and on, like insulting me, leaving me messages, crying and begging. I'm like, this man is not okay.
Why do you do that? Yeah,
sir, if by chance you ever come across this video, go suck your mother.
With a straw.
With a straw. Agreed.
Okay, let's read this in a second. So he's crying over voicemail. Like I showed this to my roommate. She's like, he sounds mentally ill. Like this is not okay. Like why is he crying like this?
He would kill you.
So I'm like ignoring him. I'm ignoring him, and then he sends me like a text. What does he say? He says like, he tries to guilt me about it. He's like, wow, I made rice and peas. I made cupcakes.
Who said I was coming over? Who said I was coming over though?
He was Jamaican
for the barbecue.
Oh man,
no, he was like Guyanese or something.
Were we supposed to go to?
Yes.
He was what?
Guyanese.
Okay.
He was Guyanese. So he's like,
so he had peas and rice. Rice and
he's like, so he's like, I made rice and peas, steak, deviled eggs, cupcakes. I bought picnic chairs. I was gonna bring my speaker so we could listen to music while eating all the food.
Deviled eggs are so good.
I might have had to say yes.
Before he didn't know what he was gonna make, and all of a sudden,
an hour before we were deciding on the location. So you made all this shit already, fam? Like that's not true. And I was being a bitch. At this point, I was not answering him. He sent all this shit, and I said, wow, you're gonna feed me day-old food? How dare you? Thank God I canceled. And then he kept going. He just texted me, please. And the next morning, he sent me this long poem. Is that it right there?
No.
Oh, God.
Oh, what is it?
A poem. What time was this? What time?
This was like the next morning. He was sending me poems.
I
once met a girl named Mariline.
It's not real.
With diamonds in her eyes and eyes that sparkle.
Okay, was he like...
I'm looking for the poem.
He was light-skinned.
Tell you about
like you or was
I mean probably like light-skinned.
Okay,
here's the poem.
Go ahead.
Okay. I sought a woman once with curiosity, on the internet with ferocity. Tinder is where I started my search, for I didn't think I'd find what I want in a church. Then finally, I was taken by a delicate surprise. I saw a photo of a woman with actual sparkles in her eyes. I then knew that this could be the one, I thought. I want a woman that I might be able to flaunt. I sought a girl with talent and long curls, similar to that of a stallion. Skin of caramel that went all the way down to her toenails. With skills in music and dual languages, the desire too sick I felt would bring out my intimate savages. If I were to meet this girl, then I would probably want to ravish her soul, but careful to never damage the diamond in the coal.
Okay, now
that was sick. No, that was sick though. That was sick though.
You know what? Give him a chance.
Yeah.
Get the deviled eggs.
Get the deviled eggs, bro.
Eat the peas and rice.
Yes.
This went on for like a few days. Like please. I just like ignored him. Then maybe 2 weeks later he messaged me again. Like please give me another chance. And this was months ago. This was in the summer, and he actually messaged me on another app like 2 weeks ago.
Another app?
Because I blocked his number. He messaged, I don't know how he messaged me, but he messaged me on another like medium.
Okay.
Like 3 weeks ago, he's like, I still think of you sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
3 weeks ago from today?
Yeah, from right now.
Okay, so if you're ever listening to this or watching this on YouTube, I
let me give you some advice, sir.
I can't.
Okay, so pretty much, you're coming off a little too strong if you tone it down. No. There's nothing wrong with poems and stuff.
No.
The thing is,
but she said no. There's no need for a poem. If a woman says no, no is it.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, let me go back to my advice.
Take your L and go.
Yeah. Okay, so it goes all the way back from the text message. Okay, so pretty much, you just have to learn to first give people a chance to. Sometimes I'm like that too, like, yo, you didn't see my message. You know what I mean?
But 10 minutes though.
With someone you don't know, that's different. You get what I'm saying? If you're trying to know somebody, you can't come off so strong. You're gonna scare people away. It's that simple, right? He's probably he could be a good guy too, just doesn't know how to. I think so.
On God, he would have had my eyeballs in a jar, I swear to God.
Denean, he was begging her, and when she was ignoring it, he turned and said, "Fuck you, bitch."
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Then crying on the front
And then came back
and then came back with a poem. A sick ass poem.
Okay, guys.
No.
I understand.
Have you seen the show You?
Oh yeah.
You would have been Guinevere.
In the basement.
That's
in the
what I'm
glass
saying.
box.
That's what he would have worn my skin as a suit. I swear to God. Like, and this is behavior, and I hadn't even seen him in person.
Okay, so what was this within a week? Was this within like a couple? Was this all between 2 days? Like, how long did this last?
We like maybe matched on like a Friday, and then on the Monday was when like the whole like Monday or Tuesday when the whole situation went down. With him messaging me for like a couple weeks after. A month. Nah, fam.
Okay, so have you ever? Can I ask you a question? Have you ever met anybody that you actually liked on these apps? Does it scare you now because of that?
I've had like mostly bad situations, but I have met people that I've liked on these apps. I've made like a couple friends off these apps. People I still like talk to from time to time. So there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I met her off of that. I've made like a couple friends off of it.
Oh, I thought you just knew each other.
Oh no. I'm new to Toronto too, so I had to make friends, and I met her. Everybody else was whack.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's actually nice. Okay, but that story, Mariline.
That's crazy.
I
just think
Oh yeah, he was like, I spent the last of like my CERB money buying all this stuff for you. Like, don't.
His
like,
CERB money?
Because he was saying I don't have a lot of money because I don't work right now.
I thought you were gonna say sorrow money. Like, okay, sorrow.
CERB money, that's crazy.
He's like, I don't have a lot of money right now. My pockets don't go too deep. But then he goes like, I bought all this shit, and now like I'm gonna have to waste it. Thank you. Now you're gonna ruin it for the next girl I meet. I'm like, oh, that's not my problem.
Okay, he bought sunrise rice and peas, and he put it in a basket.
Peas and rice.
Sorry, peas and rice. What else came with? He didn't even tell you what meat he had. Maybe you would have went if it was oxtail. Huh?
He said steak.
Oh, okay.
He made steak.
Why does it matter what he cooked?
Medium rare.
Why does it matter?
Sometimes, you never been on a date for food before, guys?
Oh yeah.
Be honest.
Yes. Yeah.
Never.
You've never went for a meal?
That, ma'am, is a lie.
That's a lie.
What?
Have you ever went on a date for a meal? Like you're like, you know,
food.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
I'm too hungry.
I'm not saying that I can't get it myself, but it feels nice to be.
Okay, can I ask you guys a question? Would you ever go on vacation with someone?
Just to go on vacation?
Just to go on vacation, knowing that they like you, but you're like, no, but they said they'll pay for it, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna sleep with you, though.
Where are we going though?
I haven't done that.
Yes, I would.
I know someone who's done that.
Yeah.
They went to Mexico with a stranger off of Instagram.
Wait, stranger?
That's
Did we talk someone? No.
I'm talking about someone you know that likes you.
No, so
okay, story, go ahead.
So this isn't me, but someone I'm very closely related to. We share the same parents, but anyways, she's very popular on Instagram, and this man, was like, oh, I'm taking you to Mexico. Do you want to come? She was like, yeah, sure, and she went with him.
No, that's dangerous, yo.
It's very dangerous.
Have you seen?
Must be young.
Kidnapped abroad.
She's very young.
Have you seen Taken?
Have you seen Taken? I told her, but she's like, it's not like that anymore. We're in 2020.
But they have movies.
It's worse.
They have movies because of things that happen in real life.
Human trafficking movies.
No.
But
her relative, like the things that she says sometimes.
She's special, but I love her with all my heart. But she went and she told me, he tried to like get close to me and kiss me sometimes, but I was like, I don't do that. He's like, well, that's what these trips usually entail. She's like, well, yeah, that's your fault. That's not me.
I'm surprised, and you know what? I'm very happy.
She's still alive?
Yeah. I'm happy she got back safely.
I mean, as of last time I messaged her, yeah. This was a year ago.
What?
And she got flown to Mexico.
Not a year ago since you've heard from her.
No.
Like she's missing, guys. She might be missing. Okay.
I would not. I'd be too scared for my life.
Honestly, I couldn't even. I know people. Big up yourselves. I could travel alone. I can't do it.
Yeah, like my girlfriend, she travels. She goes to different carnivals by herself, and I'm just like, okay.
I think I watch movies.
Sorry.
Shows.
Yeah.
I watch way too much movies and shows to ever travel by myself.
Yeah.
You guys start watching Kidnap Abroad and you you won't even travel. Kidnap Abroad, you never seen that?
No, I've never seen it.
Watch that.
On Netflix?
It's like people that go to let's say all of us are like, all of us we're like, let's go on a trip, we go, we're excited, and we meet people. You know, when you meet people on vacation and stuff, we trust them, and next thing you know, you're kidnapped. You end up in like some kind of confinement. You're fighting for your life, trying to leave. People die. Like it's a real thing. You know what I mean? Because we trust. When you're on vacation, you act different. Let's be honest. You just trust people more. You're like, no, true story. True story.
Yeah. I'm opposite though. You don't trust people. And you can ask me, Joe. I'm opposite.
What do you mean?
Paranoid.
When you go
I'm paranoid. I'm crazy.
When you go back to like where you're like Jamaica, are you paranoid still?
I've always been paranoid, so I'm less paranoid because that's where I live. I have a little bit more, understanding of how to act when I'm there. When I'm abroad, I'm more paranoid because I don't know what's going on, and I'm even here. People are like, "Oh, it's Canada, you can walk late at night in Pickering." I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Prevention is better than cure.
Let me tell you something about Jamaica. This is a sad story though. Some girl, you probably heard this. Went to the airport, right? Jamaica. She wants to go surprise her family, right? So she goes to Jamaica now, and she's like, you know how when you go to any place, the taxi drivers are trying to get you first, right? To come in their taxi or whatever. So she goes to a random taxi driver, trying to surprise her family. Never made it home. Never made it to the family. Because they literally kidnap her, kill her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even when you go certain places, you can't be so trusting. You know what I mean? That's why it's shocking to me that you could go somewhere with a stranger that you just met off of social media. For what? What does that do for you?
She got really good pics.
And that's what's gonna ruin us, yo.
But this is what the world's about now.
Yeah.
Just their phones and how good they look. So
and likes, right? You want to go on vacation for likes? What? Why don't I want to go on vacation for myself?
Black Mirror. There's an episode on Black Mirror
about the likes. Yeah.
Yo, that show. But that's crazy. She just got up and just left.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this is in those shows where they do like the little serious notes, like
the PSA
for all you that that want to travel alone, don't do it.
Don't do it. This is a cautionary tale. I mean, it ended fine because she's alive.
Right. There's a lot of tips out there on how to travel alone when you do. So it's not like I know a friend that goes all around the world by herself, and she comes back alive, so she's fine. But there's ways to act when you're traveling alone that you just don't do when you're here or when you're a group of people.
I just feel like even if you travel alone and you stick to staying on the resort and you stick to this, and well, the resort is different, but let's say that you went to like an Airbnb or a hotel or something where anybody can come there. I feel like in a lot of these impoverished countries, the employees of these hotels are also in on it. They're like, so you might not get kidnapped, but you'll get robbed. They'll go into your stuff. You won't see. You come back. You don't see anything. Stuff like that. And then they know your routines when you're there. They know that she comes back at this time. She's gonna leave at this time. Blah 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 blah. So I'm just like, just don't do it at all.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
If you're not street smart, don't travel alone.
That's it.
Because it's a different mentality when you're traveling alone.
Yeah.
I don't trust nobody, so
I trust nobody. So
if I'm traveling alone or with people, I still don't trust you. Like, you get what I'm saying? Not the people I'm with. I don't trust nobody. I'm like, are you sure we should go in this place? Are we sure? Like, I don't trust people.
Yo, when I went to Belize with my friend, the one that travels around the world, bro. When I went to Belize, there's one guy that she met, and then he was fond of her, and she was like, okay, I guess he'll be the dude for when we're in Belize. And one time we're sleeping in our room, just quiet, and then all we hear is boom, 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 boom on our door. Keep in mind, like, this is not no high-end hotel. This is like a 2-star hotel. Like, it's just a bed and a room. That's all it is. Fam, I woke up like, this is it. This is like, this is when I'm dying. Then opens the door. It's the dude that she was talking to, or she met him, the same dude, and he's like, you didn't answer my text messages. And we're like, how did you know which room we're in? Security told us.
What?
But then the security goes and turns around. We're like, hey, just come in our room so we don't, no mosquitoes come in. the security guard now wants to be a security guard and says, oh, you can't come in the room. I'm like,
but you sent him here.
You sent him to a room,
right? Not
knowing who he was, but now it's a problem when we invite him into the room. Okay.
Some people are just so overbearing.
Like, they're just weird.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Again, the issue with getting upset when you don't get tested back right away. Can we just agree that? Listen, this is the whole thing with like a phone. So it's like I love the technology and like having a mini computer on me at all times. It like makes my internet addiction much worse. But like here's the thing, it's such easy access. You have such easy access with people that we forget like no one's obligated to answer you at any point in time. No one has to talk to you, and just because they have a cell phone doesn't mean they're always on their phone or they want to talk to you all the time or they're going to answer you right away.
You're right.
Your time is for yourself, and if someone doesn't text you back right away, just keep it pushing. Like I don't
calm down.
Wait.
But then it's different when they leave you on like on red.
But someone could be reading the message and just be like, I don't have the energy to answer this right now. Or they get the notification, they look at it, but they're busy doing something else.
Yeah.
So you could read something and just not
have the time to
answer
it.
Right.
You're right.
So, okay. Let's play devil's advocate, okay? The whole point of a phone is convenience and obviously for technology and selfies, like over here, stuff like that, right? But I think, okay, it goes back to the saying, what's that saying now, man? It's pretty much like people are gonna make time for who they want to make time for, right? So if you are messaging somebody, right, and if you're messaging somebody and they're not responding to you, just know that you're not here on their list of important people. You get what I'm saying? Because I know I respond to my people. Like I know who I don't respond to quick enough to, and I know who I respond to quick. You get what I'm saying? But it's like a priority thing because your phones, everyone always has their phone on them. Let's be 100%. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna look at your phone often. You're gonna have your phone on you often, right?
And I can go like 5 hours without even thinking about touching my phone.
Really?
I do it at work all the time.
That's okay. Work.
But no one owes you their time or their response. I sometimes go so long without even answering my mom, and it's not that she doesn't matter to me. Yeah. I just don't have the mental energy to deal with her at a certain point in time. Like I could look at her. Even some of my closest friends, they'll text me, and I look at it, and I'm like, I don't have anything to say, or I'm just not in the mood to get into this conversation right now.
Do you do better with phone calls then? Like, would you ignore phone calls?
I ignore phone calls all the time.
Okay. Me too.
Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to talk to people.
But me neither. So what I'm trying to say is though, okay, so last time me and Katrina spoke on the podcast, or for the next episode, I don't know when it's coming out now, or the last episode, we talked about giving people their flowers and blah blah. Mm-hmm. Now listen to this. My thing is, I always try to get back to people because how do you know, like the next time, like say someone's calling you, trying to talk to you, say it's your mom or whatever the case is, trying to talk to you, then you find out you're ignoring the calls and all types of stuff. The next thing you know, that person's not there anymore. How would you feel as a person? All you had to do, you didn't have to call them. All you had to do is message them back. Send a message. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, obviously, I feel like regardless of what happens, people have like a lot of guilt surrounding death. So I could have answered her message, but she said something to annoy me, so I say something rude, and then that's my last conversation with her. Then I would feel guilty about my last conversation with my mother being like a negative one. It goes anyway. Or I could talk to her and it's a great conversation, then something happens to her, knock on wood, then I think about all the bad things I've ever done. Like that kind of thinking is gonna happen regardless of the situations or the circumstances right before someone's death.
But why don't you ever think, could I ever be this too busy for someone? Or do you think your life is really that busy to not answer or return a phone call?
It's not that I think I'm too busy. It's sometimes I'm not in the mood to talk to somebody. Not because I dislike them, but I'm tired or I'm busy doing something else. Or even it's just an issue of being distracted. I look at the message, but I'm busy doing something else and I forget because I don't have the notification anymore. So I forget to answer and I'm doing something else. And they're like, well, you read my message. Why didn't you answer? That wasn't even on purpose. It's just like I looked at it, but then something else happened in like real life and I forgot to answer.
Can I tell you something? If I ever message you and you don't answer, that's another story.
Denean make you sure to know that.
I'm gonna say, excuse me, so what?
You couldn't
I don't exist, right? You can't answer me? But the thing is, so do you get mad if people don't answer you?
Good
because
question.
in that in itself would be very hypocritical.
I don't get mad, but if it's important, then I'll remind them like, hey, I really need to talk about this, if that's okay. If I say something and they don't answer right away, I assume they're busy, but if it's really important, I need to talk to them, I'll send them another message.
Okay, can I ask you guys something? What's your limit? So me personally, if I'm trying to get a hold of someone, right, I'll call them once. If they don't answer, I don't leave voicemails, right? I'll call. If you don't answer, okay, fine, I'll give it a while. I'll call back. Now if you don't answer the second call, if I spread it out and call like hours later, I'm never calling you ever again. I swear to you, I'm never calling you again.
Dramatic.
But then Denean just said that she ignores calls.
You're right.
So she's a hypocrite.
Yeah, she is.
Respond to my people. Like, I know who I don't respond to quick enough to, and I know who I respond to quick. You know what I'm saying? But hold on.
Okay, you ignore something.
I don't remember saying that. I did though.
I would rewind it and put it in the video.
You did though.
I recall saying that, but I'm saying sometimes I don't like to answer calls, but I didn't tell you the second part. I will eventually call back. The same day. Why you say that? The same day? And if not the same day, then obviously it was probably just really busy. So yeah, this has been another Tuff Talk Tuesday. Thanks Mariline for coming on. Everyone big up Mariline. It's been a nice episode. We learned a lot about pipitu and the Haitian desserts. It was
what?
Pipitu.
Patat?
Papatat.
Pain?
Huh?
Pain?
Pain.
Patat.
Patat.
Okay.
Papatat.
Nice try.
Okay, anywho, big up the Haitians and
Sac passé.
okay.
It's all my zoes.
All the zoes and this is Denean.
This is Katrina.
And this was Mariline.
And
This was Mariline.
This is Tuff Talk Toronto. Another Tuff Talk Tuesday. But I want to say one thing. Big up Mariline. Remember she sang for us a couple times?
Oh yeah.
Shout out your song on Spotify.
It's bad on Spotify. There was going to be a link in the description below.
You can pop it right here.
So please listen. Please listen. I get like 5 cents per listen, so I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye,
Till next
guys.
time, guys.